Guys, welcome back to the AM show, and I have a very special guest coming through the building, my home girl, Miss Courtney Bee.
Oh, hi, Freddie. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here, man. I definitely wanted to get you on because, Courtney, you've been tearing it up. I mean, it's been just a joy just seeing your ascension to the throne, if you will.
You know, I do my thing. What can I say?
You know what I mean?
You know, I've been out here grinding. You know, I was in New York doing my thing for 11 years. And I moved to LA a year ago, and my life has seemed to just kind of take off.
And speaking of which, because you know you got the new season, we'll start there, but we'll go back to the ascension.
The beginning.
But I want to start off. You know, you got the new season of We Playin Spades. You and Nick, y'all doing the interviews, y'all playing spades, a new take on the podcast interview situation. Season 2 is a little bit different than season 1.
Yeah.
But how did all that come about till y'all started?
Well, okay, so season 1 of We Playin Spades was Desi Banks and Waka Flocka Flame. And they asked Nick and I to come on and play spades. And well, they asked Nick, and Nick was like, Courtney, come with me to play spades. And I said, say less.
Right.
Because I know how to play spades. I like to slap the cards on the table.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big.
That's how you play. You know what I'm saying? And so, I went and we had a blast. We had so much fun. We beat them, okay? We killed it, all right? So we just had a good time. It was great energy. It was great fun. And when it came to the second season of We Playin Spades, they just, they asked Nick and I to come on and be the new host. So it was really dope, you know what I mean? And it's been an amazing opportunity. We have so many celebrities on this season. We have Tiffany Haddish, Miss Pat, Kevin Hart, Faison Love, Affion Crockett, Charleston White. We have so many celebrities. Remy Ma. We have so many celebrities on Playin Spades, and it's just so much fun because it brings families together. Spades is a game that allows you to just, you know what I'm saying, let your guard down, talk junk, you know what I'm saying, and just really have a good time. Every black family joins together, whether it be Thanksgiving, whether it be Christmas, whether it be just a summertime barbecue, and they gonna sit around that table and they gonna play some spades, just like they play dominoes, just like they play bid whist, just like they play Uno, right? And it's always a good time. So that's basically what we're bringing in this podcast. It's a good time, and it's with some of your favorites. So yeah, make sure you guys tune in.
Yeah. So and speaking of which, I got a clip is you talking to, because you kind of had like, you know, you had a little affinity with Waka on the first season. So I got a clip of the first season to show y'all the first season of We Playin Spades. So let's check that out right here.
It's gonna be a little print when she get up. It's gonna.
we
This morning she's like, I'm gonna go get you. I'm gonna see Waka. I'm gonna put my lip on. She like Waka.
I see.
She already told you she was a fan.
Because you know I make good pancakes, great turkey bacon,
You make pancakes?
fried eggs.
Well, cook this up. Come on now. Put some syrup on that.
Whoa.
Cook that up. I gotta give you that.
So the first season, y'all was out there, y'all was getting to it, like you talking about talking junk.
Hey, we had a good time. We had a great time with them. They were so much fun. Amazing house. But yeah, Nick and I just, you know.
And you know what? I can see why he brought you, because like I'm looking at it like, okay, if it was just them three, and then adding you to the mixture, like it definitely you bring that female energy in there.
Yeah.
And it's like a little balance, but you're one of those rare females that you can be amongst a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And still like I'm all you need as far as female.
Hello, I'm fine. Okay, I'm a beautiful woman, and I'm home. I'm the home girl.
Yeah.
So we just had a really good time, just talking junk. You know, I was flirting with Waka, trying to distract him. You know what I mean? Because we got to keep them distracted so we can win the game. And that's what we did. We won the game. I flirted with Waka the whole game.
So how long did y'all shoot that first season? Like, what was that a time over?
So they shot that first season. They just shot that first season, but I don't know how long it took them to shoot the first season.
So y'all did one episode?
We did literally one episode.
Wow.
And they just really were like, they were very impressed with us, so they brought us into the second season of the show, which is amazing.
And so speaking of sex, do we got a clip? 'Cause I had a clip, but the clip I chose apparently we couldn't play.
Too much. It was the poop. Was it the poop?
No, it was the one about you had to give either you had to tell your most embarrassing story or give Nick a head massage, and it kind of with Tiffany Haddish and
it was Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, that one. Do we have a clip? We don't. We don't.
This is family friendly. This is family friendly.
But
I'm not suggesting that your kids will sit in the room while you watch this. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but wait.
This is grown stuff, but it also we do bleep it out.
It's not too bad. I don't want to make it seem like y'all just bog on there. You know, it's just
bleep it out.
It's just an older themed conversation that maybe
which is what happens at a spades table.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
It's adults talking.
It's grown folks. When I was a kid, I would sit in the room and watch adults play, but I would sit in the back, right? Technically, I wasn't supposed to be there, but you wanted to be there because the energy was so high. I mean, my uncles used to be flipping tables. They used to leave mad. They was mad because they lost. They had bad sportsmanship. But at our table, there is no bad sportsmanship. Everybody leaves happy. We give everybody leftovers from the barbecue, which is our merch, which is amazing. We have bucket hats and we have playing cards, and we have cups, glass cups that you can just wash out and keep using, which are amazing. We have all this merch that we have going on. So yeah, it's just been amazing. Wondery is under Wondery, which is under Amazon. And they've really put a lot of money behind us, and they really have a lot of faith in us. I just had my billboard in Times Square, which was super exciting.
Last night,
we were there last night, and it was super exciting. It's just an exciting space to be in, and I'm so excited for the world to see these interviews that we're doing because they are so much fun. Like you will just, I mean, it's constant laughter, and that's what I guess, essentially I wanted my life to be. I'm a comedian. I started comedy 11 years ago, and to be in this space of really living out my dreams is such a blessing. So yeah,
that's what I want to get into, because I mean, you just talked about how y'all did one episode, and now y'all doing the whole second season.
We took their job. I'm playing, Walker. I'm playing. I love you, baby. I love you.
But it's like the blessing on your life is insane, and so you kind of got into it. You got it, and that's what I want to get into, because I want to it's just, like I said, I remember when I first met you, I want to go back. When I first met you, I moved to New York, and we had a mutual friend, and we would all go there for game night, and you were there, and you, I remember we were on the couch, you were talking about, I want to get into comedy. And it was like, do it, and I know some other people said it. I was saying, you should definitely do it, because I was kind of already dibbling and dabbling in it as well, but more so as a host. But talk about, first thing, what made you at that moment, you were saying, I want to do stand-up comedy, I can do this?
I don't think, when you get into stand-up comedy, you feel like you can do it. Stand-up comedy is really something that you just do. You don't know if you're good at it, you don't know if you're bad at it, you just got to get up on stage and figure it out. You let the audience decide. And then you really kind of just have to work at it. But I had gotten fired from my job. I think that was the major thing that kind of helped catapult me, was that I had gotten fired from my job, so I was unemployed. So I'm sitting around the house all day. And see, I was voted class clown in high school. In college, I was always hosting events. I was always making people laugh. And it's kind of crazy. Just one day when I was in New York, I just had a thought, you should do comedy. And
nobody said it to you.
Nobody said it to me. It was just a little thought. And I remember I had spoken to my friend. Her name is KJ Smith. She's actually on BET Sisters, one of the main actresses on there. And we had dinner at Carmine's. And I was like, girl, I'm thinking about doing stand-up comedy. And she was like, girl, you should do it. And then I kept having these conversations with friends. I'm thinking about it. And then I went to this open mic at Stand Up NY. And people laughed, and I think that was like, whoa, I've gone over the big hurdle. People laughed, and then I, just started kind of writing and trying to go to open mic. So every Sunday I would go to Greenwich Village Comedy Club, and I would just get up on stage and go to that open mic to just try to figure it out. Just, I wasn't funny every time, because you're not gonna be funny every time. I think that's the thing about comedy, or anything, but that's the thing about comedy is you're not gonna get it every time. And I mean, even some of the most famous people bomb, you know what I mean? And that's just a part of the game. And I think that's just a part of life. You're gonna have some wins, you're gonna have some losses. Sometimes you're gonna bomb at life. You're not gonna get it right every time. But the beautiful thing is when you build a fan base, when you build people that rock with you, they're gonna follow your career. I got this one girl in Philly, love her to death. She came to one show and she is literally like, girl, where you at? When you in Philly? She done sent me Starbucks, gift cards. I mean, she literally is just like, I want you to be successful. I love you. I love your comedy. So you meet so many people that just really rock with you, and that's something that's just unmatched and unparalleled. Yeah. And
I know I've been to a lot of your shows, and I can see the response. I'm like, and it's like not even because you're my friend, we cool, but it's like I'm like, cause like a lot of times, like even last night, like if you notice, I'm kind of back. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of back, and I'm just peeping the scene of how you move with all these different things happening, because it's always so interesting to me. Like I said, one, just like seeing your ascension. Yeah. It's cool because we're in that same boat, and I'm doing my thing.
Right.
And then and I know, like, I try to treat people how I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And so I want to be in a situation where I'm doing stuff, and there's that one person I know that you've been watching. They can tell me, hey, Fred, blah, 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 I noticed this, I noticed this. Somebody who's standing back from the bubble and watching, because you in it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff you don't see. It's a lot of stuff you miss because things are just happening.
Yeah.
And so one thing I know is, like, I go to your shows, and I just notice, like, people are just, like, light up and just want to be your friend. Like, girl, yeah. And it's like, you see things from people that's like, I didn't know that could come out of you. Like last night.
Yeah,
all these people from Hungary, Ukraine?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that was crazy.
What is that like?
It's amazing. It's kind of like, it's surprising. I'm always surprised. I'm always like, oh my God, like, you want to take a picture with me? Like, that's crazy. Because, in my mind, I'm just a regular person. But in their mind, they like, well, girl, you popping. You got it going on. I want to be associated with that. And, I mean, I think it's just a blessing. I have to give you your flowers, though, too, Freddie, because I don't know if y'all know this, but Freddie is a host. Freddie has been doing comedy and hosting for years since I've known you. And Freddie kept me going, honey. Freddie would get me jobs. I was unemployed, I was broke, and Freddie would give me jobs. He would always be like, Court, I got this job for you. Court, come, I'm going out of town, come do this job. I was never good at the jobs, y'all. I was never good at the jobs, okay? I would barely do the jobs. Freddie would still pay me, y'all. He would still pay me, okay? He's real. This is the realest. And then Freddie ended up getting a show at this spot in Harlem. And I hate that it's gone. It was called Nabe.
Yeah.
And Freddie told me, he said, Courtney, come every week. He said, every Tuesday, you come to Nabe and I'll put you up. I didn't know what that meant. But I would get up every Tuesday, and every Tuesday people could come see me at Nabe. That was the biggest thing. It was like, you know what, I'm gonna be at Nabe. And I wasn't venturing out at the time. I wasn't going into comedy clubs at the time because I was still kind of insecure about my comedy and just trying to figure it out. But Freddie allowed me that space. And we eventually would pack that thing out. Oh, Nabe, Freddie grew that thing into something. It turned into a big deal. And I mean, I would rock that mic. I had so many amazing times at Nabe. So I have to thank you for all of the times that you contributed to my career and allowed me spaces to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember we did it was the car share thing. Because you posted that video selling car share. I remember my boss, because like it's funny when you said that, my boss hit me, was like, Freddie, what is going on? And they sent me a video. I was like,
you're lying, Freddie.
Yeah, because he was doing something wrong. I don't know. I can't remember.
Because I was like, are your arms tired? So look, it was this car sharing. Freddie was working for Enterprise. And at the time, you would have to lug this like portable
Table.
stand,
Yeah.
and you have to lug this computer. So I'm lugging this on the train. Y'all lived in Queens. I was going to 14th Street, Union Square, right? So I'm on the street with this portable desk and this computer, and I'm trying to figure it out because I need people to sign up because that's how I make money. And I'm trying to make Freddie proud. But then one of my friends pulled up, and I was like, "Man, bump this job. Let's go have lunch." Because I love to eat. And so,
Oh, God.
but I was sitting there and I had this little jingle I would do. I'd be like, "Are your arms tired? Are you tired of walking? Are your bags heavy? Come get a car at Enterprise Car Share." And that was like my little thing. And people would walk past and laugh. And I thought it was so cool because at least they were laughing at what I was saying. And it was good. But I didn't sign anybody up. Freddie did not make any money. But Freddie still paid me, and that's why this man is noble. Because he still was like, yo,
man.
he said, "Courtney, what are you doing? You know that they can track you. You know that if the computer is closed, they can see that." And I was like, they can. I can't believe that they can track this.
Oh, man.
I did not register it, but yes, it was. It was a time in life. It was a time in life.
That was a time of life. I wanna, cause like you like all this stuff. Because we live in New York, you got to pay bills. So that's what it's for. But you continue to do your stand up, and you became like you was a substitute teacher.
I was a substitute teacher. I worked at the Harlem Children's Zone too, so I would do a lot of after school work. And yeah, Lord have mercy. I'm glad I'm out of there. I'm glad them kids, baby. If you got kids, blessings, baby. You are hard at work. That is a job, okay? And helping raise other people's kids is a job, cause yeah. But I love kids. I really do love kids. So that was the thing about that job, was that I was good at it. That you know what I mean. I couldn't do anything else. I worked I was trying to be a barista. I was horrible at that. They put me in the basement. Yeah, they put me in the basement because I couldn't. I wasn't good at the barista. I was working in Tribeca. They put me in the basement. I had to cut up avocados. I wasn't good at that. So I left there. And then I did some work with the circus. I was signing petitions. I did petition signatures. What else did I did? I was a pill counter. I would go to the hospital and count the pills, all right?
How do you find these jobs?
I had a million jobs. Oh my God, I had a million jobs. But teaching was the thing that kind of like was stable. You know what I'm saying? The substitute teaching and working in the after school programs, that was kind of a little stable because, you know, I could do it and then get out early enough to go and do comedy shows. So that was the biggest thing, was like, okay, can I do comedy shows? I had a full-time job. I ended up quitting my full-time job to go and drive Uber so that I could have more time for comedy. Let me tell you something. That was dumb. Do not do that at home, okay? Do not quit your full-time job for a dream. But you know what? You live and you learn. I quit that job. And I went and drove Uber, and then I got 2 flat tires in the same week. And I said, okay, God has given me a sign. I went back to that said job, asked for my job back, and they said no. And they gave me a job at entry level, making like $15 an hour. I went from making like, I think like 54 or no, like 48,000, I think maybe, to like $15 an hour. But it's lessons. It's humbling. It's yeah.
And speaking of humbling, you got your friend. You brought your friend. I definitely want you to
that's
tell
my
this
best
story.
friend. That's my best friend.
You got your. I want you to tell that story as well, because y'all are rolled tight, and I love to see it, because you know I definitely think that y'all give each other the support that's needed between y'all two, and we all need that. We all need that friend that you roll with, that you can lean on them and they hold you up, but then now they got to lean on you, and I definitely see that between y'all two. Talk about like how y'all met and what she's meant to you in your life.
Yeah, so my best friend Shayna Hill is here with me, which I would want her at everything I go to, but Shayna and I met because we met at the Harlem Children's Zone. And Shayna came up to me and she said, "It's something about you. Something. God got something on you. God is on you." Right? I remember her saying that, and I said, "Okay, girl." At that time, I was like trying to figure my life out. I was like, "Okay, girl," and we just connected, but we weren't like great friends then, and I ended up getting fired. She ended up taking my job. Yeah, they fired me and hired her. And we still remain friends. At the time, she was getting married. And we still remain friends. I ended up getting kicked out of the house by some friends. Right? Yeah, that's a part of the story too. I got kicked out by some friends. I was struggling. I couldn't. I could pay my rent, but I was just trying to figure out where I was gonna stay because I had a bad living situation. And my friends, they told me, they was like, "Oh, you can come and stay with us." And I told them, I said, "I'll pay y'all $500 a week just so I can figure out my life." And then, like, I don't know, a night later, they came back and was like, "Yo, you gotta be out of here by the end of the week." So I'm at work, I'm crying, I'm devastated because I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not from New York, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I don't know anybody. There's no place for me to go other than like a shelter. So I hit up a group chat that we had from the Harlem Children's Zone, and I said, "Hey, I'm almost homeless. Let me know if there's a room or something that you know about." And Shayna called me instantly and she said, "What are you talking about? You almost homeless? You're never homeless. What do you need?" And mind you, Shayna and I were not close. I mean, we were not close. We might have had a couple of conversations, hung out maybe twice, but we were not close. And she said, "You're gonna come to the Bronx with me and my family. You're gonna move in with me and my husband and my child." And I remember everybody was like, "Girl, you moving in with that girl husband? That's kind of crazy." But I knew who I was. I knew my character. And I knew that I needed someplace to stay, and it felt safe, and I felt peace. And so Shayna said, "Anything that you need to get, you got it. You need a U-Haul, we'll get it for you. We need whatever you need." And I moved right into the Bronx, and I went through a very dark place. It was very a depression, and Shayna allowed me to be in that space. Like, I literally was in the Bronx with nothing. I had no job. Shayna would give me money. Her husband would give me money. They would allow me to use their car. They would come to my comedy shows and support my comedy shows. And till this day, I mean, the support has been just insurmountable. I mean, she shows up for me in so many ways, and I just have to thank God for that. And she told me, she said, "You think that this is for you, but God told me to do this." And so I'm so grateful to God that he sent her, because I had no idea where I was going or what I would be doing, and I would not be in the place that I am in without her. So shout out to Shayna Hill.
Woo, Shayna.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to ask the question because I knew the general story, but I didn't know, like, even those little pieces about Shayna coming up to you and saying that, and it just shows how, you know, like, whether you believe in God or not, like, you know, there's some power, you know, there's somebody
an order
that God can talk to somebody, and y'all don't have that relationship. She just come and just speak to you.
Yeah.
And even more so, it speaks to her yielding to that. Yeah. Because she could have shut it down. She could have been like, "Nah, I ain't gonna say nothing to it."
Her husband yielding to that and saying, "You know what? Okay, what does Courtney need?" You know what I'm saying? Like, she would have her church hire me as a comedian. They would have like banquets and stuff, and her church would hire me as a comedian for the banquets. I would go and do clean comedy, which is something that I'm not well versed in, but it allowed me to stretch that bone. So I would go and do clean comedy, and they would pay me and her husband at the time. He was playing the drums. They would pay him. He would give me the money that they paid him when he was playing the drums, because he knew that I needed money. So the fact that them as a family unit submitted to God and heard God and said, "You know what, we're going to cover her in this season." When it was time for me to leave, I cried like a baby. And mind you, I'm leaving to go to my own apartment. This is something that's exciting, but this was a place that I had known for an entire year. This was a place that I had grown for an entire year. You know what I'm saying? When I came to New York, I had no grind. I had no hustle, right? My mom had taken care of me my whole life. She paid my bills, you know what I'm saying? And when I got to New York, that was over. Now I was an adult, you know what I'm saying? So I had to learn how to be an adult, and I had to learn that, and she allowed me that space to kind of just figure it out. I mean, there were a lot of dark days, but it was a blessing. Yeah.
I mean, this conversation can go on for so long, because because your story, like, all these different things, it's just like, man, it's like God is like,
oh yeah.
Last night you told the story about Nick Cannon, how, because you had to kind of polish it all off. We have a friend, Greg Griffin, that he's gonna come on. He's a great filmmaker.
Yes.
But he did your audition tape for Wild 'N Out.
Yes.
We gotta wrap up here soon. But he did the audition tape for Wild 'N Out. And you got on Wild 'N Out, and that started your connection with Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
And then from there, like, y'all relationship has like blossomed.
Insane.
Like real quick. How did you get? Because he brought you out to LA.
Yeah.
Like, real quick, can you tell us that story?
Yeah. So Nick Cannon, I was on Wild 'N Out. Nick Cannon called me randomly and was like, yo, do you want to move to LA? I had never considered moving to LA. I ended up, I think like 6 months went by, right? Because I was thinking I was going to move to LA in a month. But 6 months went by, didn't move to LA. My roommate at the time served me papers. She wanted me to be out of the apartment. And I remember thinking, like, I had a calm about it. Like, I was so at peace about the whole situation. And Shayna was like, well, Courtney, if you need to move out here, you can move out here. And I said, Shayna, I don't think I'm gonna have to. I think God is doing something. I'm gonna let him work. And I ended up moving to LA. Nick called me the next day after I was served papers. And he said, we have finalized the Amazon deal, moved to LA. And I started working on the Daily Cannon Morning Show, which was on AMP. It was under Amazon. And then Nick just started, he literally just kept doing stuff. It was just like, here's a job here, I got this for you. We did Bad vs. Wild, which is on the Zeus network. He ended up buying me a Jeep. He bought me a car for my birthday last year.
Wow.
And he is just really like, I feel like God has pretty much been talking to him too. I feel like he sees me and he's just like, she needs to be big. She needs to be famous. Because he just sees it, and it's just such a blessing. I know for a fact that God told him, bless her. This is the one, because I just couldn't imagine. Nick Cannon is around so many people. There's so many people that he could have on We Playin Spades. So many people he could have chosen for the Daily Cannon, but he saw fit to choose me. Yeah. And he said it one day. We did Bad vs. Wild on Zeus. And he told me, he said, I did that show for Courtney. I wanted Courtney to have money. I wanted Courtney to have a platform. I wanted Courtney to have more opportunities, so I did that show for her. He didn't have to do that show. It's on the Zeus network. When we did the show, I was like, why are we doing this? I asked him, I said, this don't make sense. It don't make sense for his brand. He is literally the host of The Masked Singer. Yeah. So to go and do Zeus, to me, it didn't make sense. But he said he wanted to do it for me, and I'm just so grateful to Nick Cannon. He doesn't get his flowers enough. He has really started so many comedians' careers, from Kevin Hart to Pete Davidson, Afion Crawford.
Yeah, a lot of people.
We
could be out here all day. Nick is that
DC Young Fly, Justina Valentine. Like, it just goes on and on. B. Simone, Pretty V, it all goes.
But guys, that brings us to the end of our interview. That brings us to the end of the show. We ended off with this great interview, my girl Courtney Bee.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for coming through. Like, I wish we can go longer, because so much other stuff. But guys, make sure you watch Kings tonight. It comes on at 9 o'clock. Kings. What comes on at 9 o'clock, you don't want to miss it. We'll be back tomorrow with Friday. We'll end the week off right. Friday for Nadine. I'm your main man, Freddie B. Thank y'all for watching. Double salute.
Bye.